The Lone Star State, the great state of Texas, kicks off the first of 2 events in the state of Texas this month. In the month of April, we will also visit the great state of Texas for the Bassmaster Classic in June. We are in the southeast corner, though, Such, on a dynamic fishery, one that is very unique. We won't see another lake like this or river like this all season long, the Sabine River.
We never do, Ron. It's a place where the anglers come in, and it's kind of scary. They think, I could either win or finish last.
The Sabine is a feast or famine, risk it all, play it safe kind of fishery. A lot of different variables, and one of the variables is running a long distance, and Seth Fider started the morning taking that completely out of the equation, staying as close as you almost possibly can.
Well, he had a pretty good reason, too, saying the tide wouldn't be right till later in the day, wasn't going to give it a go till 3 or 4 hours into the day fishing, but he started catching them right around the takeoff spot in Orange.
It did take a little while, despite how good he caught him. He was in 7th coming into day 3, but it took him a while to surpass our day 1 and 2 leaders because of the gap that they had.
Yeah, Ronnie, he had about 9 pounds at 8:55 and took the lead over. Of course, Jason, Christie, Brock Mosley, our leaders, were not at their sights.
Yeah, they hadn't even thought about making a cast. They were still speed racer at their cockpit of their boats. But Seth Fider did start fast, utilizing one bait and one bait alone, basically, a spinnerbait. He did flip a little bit, but the spinnerbait helped him massively this morning. Put his name in the hat to have contention for tomorrow, championship
Well,
Sunday.
you got to make it to Sunday, Ronnie. He only held the lead for about a half an hour this morning after Brock Mosley got to his spot and caught 1 or 2 fish he regained. Here he took it over because Christie started.
Well, and the important thing is that he started day 3, 8 pounds, 5 ounces behind Jason Christie. Even if he's still around 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, being 6 pounds unofficially behind on Bass Track when they finish fishing, it'll keep him in contention for tomorrow. And the guy who really did great work this morning, catching a couple quality fish on the final day, Chris Johnston, or on his the morning of his day 3, Mike.
He made a big shot across the bow with a 3.5 pounder early, Ronnie.
That fish is a giant at the Sabine River.
Oh.
It is one that, you know, a 6 pounder elsewhere.
Difference maker.
Yeah, a 3.5 is a huge difference maker.
Difference from a 7-pound bag to a 10-pound bag, which we know that 12 pounds a day, a little more, has won this event the last 3 times the Elites have fished here.
Consistency is very hard, and we see Johnston with his good one to start the day, some smaller ones to fill his limit, and then that big one late today to really give him a shot. But one of the guys making a long run, making the longest run to Houston, Brock Mosley, not exactly like he expected
Slow
today.
start, water was high, a little different, tide slack. He just said it wasn't happening. It took him a little while to gain it, but he caught a couple early to take the lead, but it took him a while to fill his limit.
Yeah, it was not simple and not easy today. Normally, after a 2-hour run, the first 30, 40 minutes of fishing, he's got his limit. That was not the case today.
Well, day 1 on his big bag, what was it, 15-10? He had a 5-6, second biggest fish of the day. He said he had a limit in 20 minutes, and then he caught that big fish later, and he had a 3 in there as well.
Almost cookie-cutter days for Jason Christie and Brock Mosley over the first 3 days. Both had great bags on day 1, making risky long runs. Yesterday, their weights came down, but still very solid top 10 bags overall for the day. And then today, water changed, and it was not as easy to get bites in their areas.
Well, we had some rain pop through overnight, and Christie said he went to his spot, and the water was up a couple feet and a little dingier. It's odd that it would raise up, but the current was lacking that he wanted.
Yeah, Toledo Bend dumping out water. The one question is, will Brock Mosley go back, and will Jason Christie go back? Mosley, not so sure if he's going to make the run to Houston. I think, though, Jason Christie committed to this spot in this region, especially with the water starting to fall this afternoon.
Boy, when we're losing 39 other competitors tomorrow, Ronnie, and these guys talk. They can talk before you're eliminated. Can they get a little insight on where to fish around Orange tomorrow? That's key, and all these decisions. That's what wins these events, is the adjustments and decisions, finding the fish. Christie was up there. He struggled early. It was totally different, and he went and he got himself a limit. It's a small limit, but he kept at it and figured out where they moved.
With as many bushes and vines and trees and whatnot, once that water rose just enough. It got high enough above the banks, and then Christie could not reach his fish because of how high the water had gotten. Took him a little while. The water started to fall. He started to reconnect to that bite, and he's going to be at the top, a contender tomorrow.
You guys
just can't give it away.
You guys were talking who you thought was going to win. I have no idea. Championship Sunday's going to be just a crapshoot.
And you can catch Championship Sunday tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Bassmaster.com and Fox Sports 1. We'll see you on Championship Sunday from the Sabine.